It's a reflection of our own mortality. We're born, we breathe, and we die. Even the sun will die someday. But we are divine. We are the gods trapped in cocoons.
Welcome to the Dreams of Consciousness podcast. If you'd be so kind, would you mind introducing yourselves?
Hello, I'm Urlo of Ufomammut.
I'm Poia from the same band, Ufomammut.
Wow.
And how would you guys describe the music of Ufomammut?
Oh, yeah, it's basically is a heavy psychedelic music. Heavy because it's pretty heavy, and also is psychedelic because it's pretty psychedelic. So it's a mixture, like the name suggests. So it's heavy and light at the same time. Is psychedelic and sludgy. I don't know. It's always the same story when we began playing, but I think things have evolved a little bit now. But let's say we are still heavy and we are still psychedelic.
Yeah.
And so the UFO in your name refers to the psychedelic side, exactly. And the mammut refers to the heavy side. Cool. Do you want to add anything else to heavy? I mean, is it important that your music is slow? Is it important that it has a lot of atmosphere?
Oh, yeah. We just, this is an easy way for describing, but of course there's more in the music, and we have many influences. And for instance, we can add to our influences the Beatles, even if you cannot recognize them in the music. So it's not only a matter of being heavy, and it's not only a matter of being psychedelic, because we can be very heavy just with a soft part, let's say, and we can be more psyche using very heavy chords. I don't know, it's just an attitude, probably, just something that it works this way. But I repeat, we have so many influences in the music that it's just a way for describing something, but sometimes it's not easy.
Yeah, let's say that heaviness is more something that we intend as evil, something that is, for example, a song like Helter Skelter from the Beatles is something really, really evil. But it can be also, I was thinking about this thing a few days ago with another guy, that psychedelia is the way we see the world with the eyes of a child. So it's something that, an exploration, something that involves all our senses and so on. So in some ways, for example, for me, some songs of Pantera can also be psychedelic, because they show me the world in another way. And when I listen to some heavy music or psychedelic music, they can have the same effect. So it's quite difficult to describe music. Surely we are psychedelic and we are heavy, but I think sometimes it's a limit to try to say this band is this band is that. It's easiest for the word itself, but there are no boundaries, let's say. Especially with the new album, we try to do something different from the past, so we didn't have a rule to follow or so on.
So let's talk about the past a little bit. Can you tell me how Ufomammut came together and what your intentions were when you started?
Well, we started several years ago.
Ages.
Let's say in 1999. And we were playing in another band just before that. I mean, me and Urlo. We were in that band. We sang in Italian. Then the drummer left, and we decided to go on like this time. And Vita joined the band in the February of 1999, and we started in the last century. So it's been a long way till today. So in the past, we decided to immediately tried to go out from Italy. That was not a rock-oriented country at the time, a little less, let's say. And we decided to go out and tour Europe, and just for a feedback from the people outside. So we started like this. I think like many bands.
Yeah, it was like just two friends meeting another friend and starting something together. We tried to have someone playing the keyboards and synthesizers for the first years, and we changed a lot of guys. And then we understood it was not possible to be four, because we don't know why, but the synthesizers were something that were difficult to play, to find someone that was really into this kind of things. So we started play them in studio and then play them with our feet live with some pedal boards and so on. We don't play devices, a piano with a feet. It's not what we do. Well, we stayed together for 21 years with Vita. Then I left the band, and we decided, like we already did with our previous band, to go on and continue the trip together. And we are happy about that.
So when you say you decided to leave the band, was this after that first album?
Sorry.
No, you mean Vita or?
Oh no, I just wanted to clarify what you meant. Are you saying you decided to leave the band, or the synth player decided to leave the band?
No, the synth players, the guys playing the synthesizers at that time, left the band. We had one. I mean, on the albums we always played the synthesizers, Poia and me. While live, we had Alien, was called for the first album. after the first album. Then he left before Snake King.
Yeah.
So we recorded Snake King by ourselves. Again. And then another guy came and he left just before the recording on the album after. So
we changed three players, but they were live players. We just took care of every sound in the records since then. So
we decided we had to stay three.
It
was enough.
It's perfect.
Now, as you mentioned, the name Ufomammut refers to both sides of your sound, the heavy side and the psychedelic side. Why was this important for you guys? And how soon did you realize that this was something that you wanted to explore?
Well, I guess from the beginning, probably, because I remember that when we started, we were into psychedelic music with classic bands like Pink Floyd or whatever. And we loved bands like the Melvins, Sleep, God Machine, that are quite a peculiar band. And so it was the end of a great era for music, because let's say from the 90s, in the 90s, it was great. So we had a lot of inspiration. And the previous band, we already did something that was a little like Ufomammut. I mean, some songs of the band comes from the previous band that was called Judicorda. And for example, audio in Snake King and a part of Eve are taken from this previous band. The only difference from Ufomammut is that this band was with a drummer that was like, let's say, a Primus-like player, something really, really difficult. He was a very good drummer. He played very, very, how can I say?
It was very technical, exactly. But it was a little bit detached from our style, let's say, because we always been not so technical players. Let's say we just try to do our own songs and our own way of playing, but we never studied too much the instrument. Let's say we are not so good at playing, so we just try to do our own stuff to be ourselves in the best way possible. So
and so with Ufomammut we just moved on with the idea we had before with the other band. And when we recorded God Like Snake, lots of songs were already written by Poia and me, and quite all of them. And so it was just when Vita entered the band, we recorded the first album, and then things went good for us, and we just moved on and goes on naturally doing.
It was natural. It was a very natural process.
Can you tell me a little bit about how songs start for you guys?
It depends on the songs. Most of them starts from a sort of rehearsing together, playing together, and sometimes there is a riff that we like and we play with it. But the most our albums and songs comes from our rehearsal room,
jamming together.
And especially in the last albums, and especially in this album.
It's a jam session. The main thing is to record every time what we are playing, so we can understand later if something is worth to be maintained or not. So listening to our jam sessions is very helpful for finding new ideas and finding new ways of composing. Because when someone plays in a jam, maybe sometimes doesn't notice something that when you listen to it is very clear. So I can say that the main thing is to record every time. It's just to fix it on something for remember the good ideas and for throwing away the bad ones.
Like Fenice was born this way. I mean, Poia and me were jamming with bass and guitar, and the arpeggio of Metamorphonics came, and listening to it, we said, this is good, we can start with that, and it developed in the album at the end.
And then with the help of Levre, we had a different perspective on what we were doing. So everybody has his own idea, and we try to put them, I can say, on paper, but we are not able to write the music, so it makes sense anyway. So everybody got his own point of view, and that's cool.
So we'll speak a little bit more about the new album and about how Lever ended up joining the band. Just a little bit more about your songwriting. Writing songs out of jams, how long does it usually take you to complete a song?
Oh, it depends on the songs. There are some songs that comes quite naturally from one jam, and then we just have to, let's say, take the right parts and make them shorter or longer or whatever. And some other songs that needs more time. For example, I don't know, Fenice was created in a couple of months, 3 months.
The main structure was very quick.
Then we started thinking about arrangement and synthesizers and so on. And
there's not a rule. For example, I'm speaking about older records of ours. We have some songs they've been finished in just 1 hour before entering the studio. Let's say, probably Stigma was very quick.
Void was super quickly, because I remember we were thinking Void is a song in Idolum, and we were entering the studio the day after. And Poia and me were saying, something is missing for this album. And so the riff came out, and we said, this could be very easy. And the day after we spoke with Vita, we could do this song. Okay. And we recorded in studio at the end. We never rehearsed it. It came.
It wasn't very complicated. I think there are 2 riffs, but it had a good groove, and we keep it this way. So I repeat, there's not a rule. And as Urlo was saying, some songs needs like months because we decided to use them or throw them in the trash, let's say.
Yeah, and sometimes we stay on a song for a long time, then we keep it, and after a while we listen to it and we say, no, it's not good. Yeah. So like every band, I suppose.
And what happens to those songs that you decide aren't good enough to record? Where do they go?
Some of them we forget them. We just forget. Some others, they stay in a limbo for a lot of time. Then maybe something is coming again to the surface. But we are getting older. Maybe we try to experiment new visions from the same riff. So maybe sometimes it could happen that an old song can be changed in the future. But we just, most time we prefer to forget them.
We should sell them.
Or sell, maybe. It's a good idea.
And when are you guys happy with a song? When do you know a song is complete?
Well, it's never complete at the end, because, when we finish the album, we have just fixed the songs, because when we start in playing them live, we always discover that maybe it could have been better to do, I don't know, a little shorter, a part little shorter, another one longer, or a riff played in another way, or this part, we don't like this part, let's keep it away. Or so even when we bring the album live, we sometimes change parts and so on. We probably should do the opposite. So write an album, don't record it, go on the road, play it
for 5 years.
Yeah, about, and then record it. And probably it would be the final version. For example, when we recorded the live of our 50 years as a band.
15 years.
15 years, we know 50s. Yeah, 50 it's too much. 15. It was strange to listen to it, because a lot of songs, like, for example, Stigma, was exactly the opposite of the way it was recorded on the first album, on Idolum, because on Idolum there is the first part that is quick, and then very slow the second one, and it was on the opposite thing we were doing live, and then in this live we recorded and so on. So we let's say we keep the doors open.
Yeah, we need the live sessions for a song to be completed. We need so many live gigs, and after that we can consider the song finished.
Yeah.
So Fenice will be coming out on May 6th through New Rod Recordings. Well, first of all, can you tell me what the English translation of Fenice is?
Is a phoenix. Phoenix. Yeah.
And does the title signify anything in particular for you guys?
Well, it was when we started with the song, we had the idea that we were going to arise in some way, to change. We were like dead. We were ashes. When Vita left the band, we felt this thing that we had to arise again, start again, and so on. So we started what it was called the Project Fenice, that it was the idea of doing a long song, first of all, an EP for 20-minute song, something like that, for coming back as a band, and then after an album. But we didn't make it doing a short song, because every rehearsing we were adding parts and parts and parts. So it became a 38-minute song, long song at the end. So we thought about changing the title, but we were still calling it Fenice. So it was the end. We say, no, it is Fenice. Let's keep this idea of the rise again, born again. So Fenice is good. It was perfect at the end. Yeah. So we kept it, even if we probably understand that in Italy it's quite easy, Fenice, but outside it's strange.
It's an obvious name for it's an obvious concept to rise from the ashes. But yeah, we decided to keep it this way. It was more natural. So we said, okay, who cares? It's just our idea, and we like it this way.
Do you feel there are aspects to the sound that feel like a rebirth for the band?
Yeah, well, for sure, because we have Levre now playing. He gave us, like Poia was saying before, a different perspective and perception of music, because in some way we were to a point where we were used to play in a certain way, tour, recorded an album, tour, do always like a process that was quite always the same. And when we found without a drummer, we first of all we say, okay, let's take a little time for understanding, even if we were sure we wanted to go on with the band. And then with Levre, we started in playing in a different way, because we were, as I said, we were used to play for 21 years with the same drummer at the end. And so with the new one, it was challenging and different.
Yeah, it was something new for sure, because it was something different. I think it was something refreshing. And
also because Levre is a musician. He plays different instruments, synthesizers, bass, guitar, and I think quite everything. And
it's also more into electronic music.
Yeah.
And so he got a different background, and so it's challenging and new. So of course we are happy about that.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about how you knew Levre and how he ended up joining the band?
Well, we know him since
2014.
Yeah, or 2015, something like that. Because like that. He joined us first as a merch guy.
Yeah, backliner. Yeah.
Then a backliner. He was the main character of one of our video clips too, and for the last album, 8. And we became friends. Then we discovered he was playing drums years ago. We started a side project together, Poia, me, and Levre. And so we were already playing together. And when Vita left the band, the natural thing for us was just to ask him if he wanted to continue this sonic adventure with us. He was more than happy, and because he started as a fan, and then he became a friend of us, and not that it's a great thing, but so it was natural for us to going on with this idea of staying in our let's call it family of people that are together since years.
Yeah, and moreover, as Urlo said, he was he followed us in our last tours in Europe. So he knew all the dynamics that are present in a band when it's obliged to share the same van for weeks. So it was into it. He knew us in our let's say less comfortable way on tour with playing every night in a different place, and that was another part of his involvement in our project, let's say.
When did you start working on Fenice?
After the first lockdown, I think, yeah, because we asked Levre if he wanted to join the band a couple of days after everything was closed here in Italy. We were on lockdown, COVID exploded, so we had to postpone
the first rehearsal, for months.
And we started after the first lockdown, and we wrote it, let's say, during the summer at the end, and it was ready in October, probably. It was quite ready. Then there was the second lockdown, and when it finished, we recorded the album.
Yeah,
that was last summer. Yeah, so it was not a very long process if it was not for the fact that we were closed in our houses and so on. Yeah.
How would you compare the music on Fenice to your previous recordings?
It's I can say an obvious thing. 2/3 of the band are still the same. So something from the old band is still present, of course. But with the new drummer, we can say that things are different. And I don't know in which way is different, but we have a different attention to the details, and we try to be more focused on the different parts, and to give more time for the parts to breathe, to slowly change, and to add little details to the atmosphere. So that I think there's more dynamic compared to the last records. It's less, we say, a cannone, saying that it's
like a cannonball.
Yeah. It's more sloth conceived. It's more careful, I think, in some way.
Yeah, probably the last two albums, Hecate and 8, were a cannone, like you said, like a cannonball. So starting and never, there were just a few parts in which there was a little relaxing, but they were always played.
Yeah, too much of everything. Yeah. And then I think in Fenice there are more empty spaces that are very useful. It's the same we were doing at the beginning. We had at the beginning we had some songs that were not totally played. I mean, there were more suggestions. So it's more careful, but at the same time it's more open to the listener's opinion and feeling, let's say. There's more space between the songs, or in the songs also.
Now, was this intentional on your parts? Did you want to have more dynamics on this record?
Well, yeah. The idea was to create something that was musically giving the idea of this rising. So the idea of the creature arising from the ashes and goes to the sky in flames and so on. So little by little, it explodes, and then it goes down, and again it explodes till the end, where there is the maximum explosion of the songs and so on. So for sure, I mean, also we started from, like I said, the arpeggio of Metamorphonic, so it was growing from this very soft part, and after this part it explodes. So yeah, I think it was intended, and it came out this way, like we were thinking.
Tell me a little bit about the recording of the album, where you went to record this and who you worked with.
We went to Flat Scenario, that is a small studio of a friend of us, an old friend of us. Well, he's younger than us.
It's an old,
yeah, but it's a long time we know each other. So he started the studio some years ago, and with Fenice, with the COVID problems, with the possible lockdowns and so on, we decided to stay close to our home. We visited his studio. It was a very cool one, and so we decided to go there. Also to be more relaxed because it's in the countryside, so it was a good place to record it. And we recorded it with Lorenzo Stecconi, that is the guy behind quite a lot of our albums from Idolum, Eve, Oro, Ecate.
Yes.
We recorded, the live of the 15 years. And so we called him for recording us. And it was last summer. We recorded in, I think, the album in
5 days.
Yeah.
More or
5
less.
days. It was a week together with a premix of the tracks. So we've been quite quick.
Well, yeah.
And you recorded this album live, right?
Yeah. Apart from the synthesizers and vocals, yes. We put amps and cabs in different rooms just to have a good sound of the drums, but we played together. And so it was even more quick to do it. We prepared a lot before the recordings to be ready for doing this way.
And is recording live how you prefer to record your albums?
That's not a rule, but since 8, we are recording live. We recorded a track a few days ago, for example. We did the same in the same studio with our friend, and we just doubled the guitars. But
the main structure is more natural. It flows better if we play all together in the same moment and not doing an instrument at a time. I think these are the two ways of recordings. But in the live recording, you can be quicker and focus more on the groove together. So we decided to keep this formula for this record. We think that this way it sounds better, because it's similar to playing it live on stage. It's more natural. It's more vibe. There's more vibe, and there's more chemistry between us, let's say, and it's better this way.
Yeah, and you can have an idea of the song from the beginning. Let's say.
Yeah.
While if you record the drum itself first, then when you add the second instrument, that is the bass, you don't know if maybe there's a mistake, so you have to do it again, and so it's quicker.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Lorenzo Ciccone a little bit. He also has his own band called Lento. And as you mentioned, you've been working with him since about 2008. What would you say Lorenzo brings to your sound?
I think he did it because he's, first of all, he's a fantastic guy because he's very relaxed and very nice. We are happy every time we meet him. And because he has always a smile for you, let's say. And this is a very good thing. And then he's very skilled as a sound guy. And since the beginning with Idolum, he invested a lot of time in searching the sound with us. Every time we were saying to him, we would like to have a bigger sound or a sound like this, more dynamic or whatever. And he was always trying to satisfy our request. Also for this last album, we made him change the things a lot of times, and he was always doing the best in everything. So
without never getting mad at us for that, and it was always always nice. He's a very good guy. But he's a good guy, but he got his own ideas. So it's sometimes we listen to him in a very religious mode, let's say.
We trust him.
We trust him a lot.
Yeah, he's our sound on the album, I think. When we play live, our sound is crafted by Ciccio, that is our sound guy since, I think it's 2004, 2005, something like that. So he is a part of the band now.
Yeah, it's the only one that has always seen us live, because we never saw Ufomammut live. We just play in the band, but from the outside, we don't know. He's responsible from our voice since a lot of time.
Now, am I correct in saying that this is the first time Lorenzo also mastered and mixed the album?
I think he already did mastering and mixing the album. Ekate, Oro, and probably also Eve. Maybe not Idolum, but he always took care of everything.
Yeah.
The last one was not 8 was not recorded with him, so it's a different thing. But all the albums he did probably also mastered them.
And do you prefer Lorenzo to handle everything?
Yeah, he's good. So also with the mastering, we asked him for a few different versions, and I never had problems. And I think the good thing is that we learn from him and he learns from us. So it's an exchange in some way. So it's always a growing of the way we play and the way he probably sees music, and he is also a musician. So it's very good. For example, when we recorded this album, there are some parts in which he told us, try to play this way because it will be more effective. And we never noticed that before. So it's not only a question of mixing and mastering, but he is also, let's say, a producer in some way that listen to the music and knows what you want to do.
Yeah, it can be very picky sometimes. Yeah, it's very...
Yeah, always with a smile.
Yeah.
A picky guy with a smile.
So, as you mentioned, the band has been around for more than 20 years at this point, and Fenice represents a rebirth. Is there anything that you want to do that you haven't had a chance to do yet with this band?
It's a good question, but yeah, we are open to everything now. I mean, we would love to go on and doing music, maybe doing something different for the next album and something different again for the next one, until we are able to play. So there's no a particular goal to reach, not a particular place to go, because just traveling with the music is the best thing. I mean, every time we would love to doing something different, because we don't like to get bored by ourselves. So it's the main thing is doing new music every time, and have the chance to play around the world. Yeah, of course. And there are some places that we have never been playing, and we would love to go there. So this is probably one of the other things we would like to do in the future.
Yeah, we've been quite lucky in doing what we like to do at the end. So
by the time people hear this podcast, Fenice will be out through New Rot Recordings. Poia, Urlo, what is the best way for people to order the album? How can they get it?
They can go on the New Rot Recordings website and the web store, and there is a web store for Europe and a web store for the US. And I think that it's definitely for Europe and New Rot directly for the United States, so they can just go on their website. It's the easiest way. While if people want to order some merchandise like t-shirts or whatever, they can go on our official web store that is 8merch.ufomammut.com.
Yeah, but on the website you can find
everything. Yeah.
Do you want to say anything about the vinyl versions that New Rot is putting out for this album?
Yeah, we have done a regular version that is a gatefold version, a colored vinyl and so on for with New Rot Recordings, while with our small label that is called Supernatural Cat, that is the label of Poia and Urlo of Malleus, that is, let's say, the graphic parts of our lives. We have done a very limited edition of 666 copies.
Classic number.
Yeah. Of which 333 galaxy red color and the other 333 in a green strange galaxy, sparkling, whatever color.
So 2 different colored vinyl for
and
the same run.
Yeah, and we finished yesterday to put them all together because
to fold the papers and
a crazy work, because they are all hand printed. All the covers are hand printed in silkscreen, glued together, folded and packed by hand by us. So if there's some little scratch or whatever, forgive us, but it's been really an incredible amount of work, but we are very happy. I mean,
we always took care of everything about our band since the beginning. So every artwork in the of the records and of the posters have always been made by us. I mean, by Malleus, but Malleus is made by Urlo, Poia and Urlo. And Ufomammut is now Urlo, Poia and Levre. So there are always the same guys involved in the project. And because since the beginning, we always love to take care of every side of the music. This is the main thing for us.
Yeah.
Even the visuals for the stage, even the little details of what we produce is under our control, let's say. Probably this is our limit. I don't know, but this is the way we always did the project in which we believe.
Speaking of live and the concert experience, you guys have some tour dates and some festival dates coming up, right?
Yeah, but we will have a release party here in Italy, and then another gig in Italy, in Alessandria and near Milano, and then we'll have a short tour of 10 days about in Europe. We'll play at Dunk Festival in Belgium and Desert Fest in Berlin, for example. Then we will have a few festivals during the summer, like, well, the most important is probably Hellfest in late June. Then probably we will have another longer tour in September, October, and we'll see. We have to see if all these things will happen because
of other problems. We are not depending on us directly, let's say.
Yeah.
Here, especially.
Let's cross fingers.
For everybody, yeah.
And if people want to keep up to date and find out about these tour dates and things like that, what's the best way to follow you guys online?
Well, they can go on our website, that is ufomammut.com, where you can find everything, or they can follow us on Instagram or Facebook or Bandcamp or what happens in town. Everything got with the name, with Ufomammut. Just search Ufomammut and the social you want to find us, and probably you will find us.
Probably. Easily, yeah.
We don't have TikTok, probably.
No,
but
no.
The other ones and Telegram, we don't have it. So, but the most of them, you can follow us.
Is there anything else you guys want to say?
Well, we want to thank you, first of all, and we hope to meet all of you guys on the road, and we hope you will like this Fenice. Let us know through these socials of us. So if you like it, just
drop. If you don't like,
or if you don't like it, drop us a line or whatever on YouTube, everywhere you want to say I like it or I hate it. Just keep in touch. We'll be happy about that.
Excellent. Grazie.
Prego.
Thank you.